Compliments of the season. Many a times I have done these videos when there's a need to add a voice to a situation that is going on. And I think this would be the best time to do one before the end of the year, looking at what is happening in the country just after the election. Ghanaians have spoken, and I think we need to all congratulate ourselves the way Ghanaians voted in this election. We have shown maturity and we have shown that as Ghanaians, we need to be taken more seriously by the politicians than we have been in the past. I am not the one to say whether this person lost or this person won. We all know what has happened in this country. Most of us were on media platforms between 2012 and 2016 with the then opposition MPP, and most of the things that we all sat and talked and spoke against, which the NDC was doing in the last 4 years when they had the chance to govern between 2017 when they were inaugurated till now, most of them were repeating the same thing that the NDC was doing. This really put Ghanaians in a corner where whether to go back to the NDC or vote the MPP, depending on which one you think is better than the other. And we all saw what happened where the president was given the victory and the MPs, most of them, because of the level of arrogance or inactive or whatever the position might be in that constituency, how they saw that MP, not perceived, but how they saw the MP, they voted against the MP. And a lot of people can assign reasons to why and how and why most MPs lost the seats. For me, what is worrying is some media personalities. I wouldn't even say media personalities, people who are seen as opinion leaders, people who have been on TV, radio for so many years. And they should know better that in times like this, silence is golden because the two political parties have charged the atmosphere where everybody is making claims and counterclaims. And if you are a neutral, a civil society, opinion leader, somebody who has been given a platform, it is said that one that much is given, much is expected. And you make certain utterances on radio or on TV, which goes to heighten the insecurity in the country and also go to heighten tension in the country. It goes to show how irresponsible you are. Being right is not always the answer. You might be right, but the timing of what you are right about is very important. It's like a child playing with fire and you tell the child not to. Do not put kerosene near fire, but the child don't listen. And they eventually got caught in fire. Because the child did not listen to you, do you now take more kerosene and pour on the child to burn? Or you take water or something that will quench the fire, and when in due time you've attended to the child and the child is well after medication being administered, then you now explain to the child the consequences of his or her action. That's what a responsible adult will do. One that will take more kerosene and pour on the child because he or she did not listen to you is an irresponsible adult. And for me, the utterances of some leaders in this country, be it a civil society or opinion leader or a political commentator, the political parties are making claims. The EC is all we have. You might not like the current EC chairman, but he's the EC chairman. Everybody will agree to you. Everybody will attest to the fact that this year, 13 million people, over 13 million people voted, and it went very smoothly. Yes, there were hitches. There were problems that they brought upon themselves by clouding a lot of, what do you call it, polling stations in certain areas where there's not supposed to be. But the point is, in all, they did well. At the end of the day, if somebody is making an announcement and all the mistake, or let's say the only mistake the person did was to now put the valid votes, instead of putting down the valid votes, the person put down the total votes cast. So in place of 13,119,460, the person put down 13,432,857. That is a sin that's unheard of, that everybody is jumping up and down and calling the EC chair or the EC all sort of names. I think it's very irresponsible. That mistake did not and has not caused what people are calling a mathematical somersault. It's not, because it did not have any effect on the percentages which the Constitution said that everybody to be president has to be more than 50%. Clearly, the 51% or 51.3% allocated to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was calculated using the right figure of the total valid votes, which is what the Constitution said should be used. So it wasn't that he used the total vote cast and later came and said, oh, I've made a mistake, I should have used a total valid vote, and then changed the percentages all again. That's not what happened. And for people to start insinuating and saying all sorts of things in this time when there is high tension between two political parties is very unfortunate. And I think discerning Ghanaians would listen to some of us who would add our voice to some of these things and say, look, we have done well as a nation, gone through election. International media has always pointed it out that Ghana is going to go through turmoil, it's unsafe, there's going to be fighting, and we've been doing this since '92. We've never ever had a situation where there is chaos after election. Yes, one person might not like it. In 2012, the MPP went to court. Maybe this year or next year, the NDC might go to court. We don't know yet. But Ghana is a civilized nation, and we are civilized people, and we love each other as neighbors, brothers, and sisters. And we are not going to go down the route of coming out and killing or fighting each other. I think that the same way that Ghanaians are becoming very savvy, intelligent in politics, very soon the like of us or civil society or anybody who talks and starts spewing all sorts of things, people are going to turn off their TV or turn off their radio when they hear you talk. It's about time we start measuring the things we say, because if for nothing at all, we know that Ghanaians are very discerning. The program might be in Twi, the program might be in English, or might be in Ewe, but everybody understands what's going on. They understand the details. If you look at the level of skirt and blouse that the voters voted, as in the level of skirt and blouse in the country, you know that, look, Ghanaians really know what they're doing, and they have voted for change in our parliamentary system and decided that they want to keep the presidential the way it is. Let's see how that experiment takes us. We're going to have a very 137, maybe 137, 138, depending on where the independent sits. We are going to have a parliament that I don't think we are going to have bills being pushed through within 24 hours. Some of us have heavily criticized the way Parliament does their work in having to have a bill being brought or a loan agreement being brought within 24 hours is passed. I think now the minority who have 137, if that's what they end up getting, would put a lot of checks and balances in the parliamentary system. We hope they don't abuse it. We hope they don't hold the government hostage on unnecessary acts whereby just to score political points. We hope they use that well, and Ghana, our democracy, will be stronger for it. We might have a scenario where the independent will now be the one who will now break the deadlock in instances where both parties are not basically agreeing with each other and the one person's vote. That's why it's always said that one person can make a difference. And I do these videos thinking that maybe my voice can make a difference. Maybe you are confused. Maybe you're thinking that, oh, look, all these personalities on TV and radio, what they are saying is right. Well, maybe one person like me can also say these things to you and make a difference. Thank you.